welcome back to my channel, Diamonds and Washi. My name is Katie, and today I am here with my weekly WIP and Chat. If you are new or just aren't sure what that means, WIP stands for Work in Progress, and Chat just means that we're going to spend some time chatting today. I'm just going to be sharing a little bit about what's been going on in my week, actually the past couple weeks, because last week my mom was here and we were doing mostly tag questions, which I loved. Thank you so much for making her feel so very welcome and being so very kind in the comments too. But yeah, I'm going to be working on a diamond painting today, and this is the same project I was working on last week, and I actually kitted it up with you 2 weeks ago. So I have been just taking my time with this one, enjoying every bit of it, and I've had a lot going on like outside of diamond painting. Like I had a lot going on in my personal life, so it doesn't surprise me it's been going little bit slowly, but here is the original artwork. This is called A Cozy Christmas. It is from Diamond Art Club and is by the artist Aria Illustrations, aka Rita Konya. And so it's a good size. It's 69.9 by 93.8 centimeters, and I've completed all of the bottom half, the next row, and we're into the row above that. So we're kind of doing this section that's right above her head. You can see she's upside down right there. So I don't know if this one is in stock at the moment, actually. I think it may have sold out, but you can sign up for back in stock notifications if that's the case. Hopefully it'll get restocked. I don't know if it'll happen by Christmas, but that is if it's sold out anyway. But as far as accessories go, so this pen is from Swampwood Creations. I actually never used this last year. I got it when he did a Christmas drop, but I just never got around to actually using this one. So I'm excited to actually break that one in a little bit. And then I have this tray, which is from Firefly Diamond Art, and it was part of their Christmas release, their Christmas collection last year. And this one is the Inferno Nano. You can see it says Christmas 2023 there as well. So I love Firefly trays, you guys. They're so nice. There's this little like trash container here and just about to put my pen. I've never used that to actually set my pen in, but there it is. And then I have this minder. I believe it's from Galloway's Gallery, and I didn't have any Christmas minders handy. I think I forgot to even bring them out to pick to work on, like to coordinate with this kit. But this one I thought, well, she's reading, and so maybe she's emotionally attached to the fictional characters in her book. The wax is from WeWax, but this is from, I think, last year or the year before, and the way that they package their wax looks slightly different now. But this one's in Mistletoe Magic, and we're obviously going with a heavy Christmas theme here, including my putty, which is from Randa's Crafty Corner, and the scent Candy Cane. So let me get my pen loaded up. I need to go ahead and put some washi on here to help this stay a little more stable in my pen, and then we'll get started on working on my diamond painting. So where is the end of this washi tape? I'm writing the struggle bus. I use these really thin rolls of washi tape from Simply Gilded just for stuff like this. They're really the perfect width to wrap around multi-placers to help them fit more snugly in pens, I find. Does that need a little bit more? Yeah, maybe just one more piece. And I also like to use this to section off my paintings. I find this washi to be too thin to use around the border, at least for how I like to use washi tape around the border of my paintings, but I love it for sectioning purposes for sure. I am not using the perforated cover, like I'm not using it with the perforations that Diamond Art Club has. I like to create my own size sections and kind of measure it out. I would literally will figure out go off the dimensions of the painting and decide, like, based on, you know, how much confetti or color blocking there is, how big of sections I feel like I want to work on, and I try to make them all the same size. So it varies from painting to painting, but typically my sections end up being somewhere around, like, it can be anywhere from 10 to 14 is my usual range. Anywhere between 10 and 14 centimeters in either direction. So how about you guys? Do you like to section off your diamond paintings? Do you have kind of specific size sections you tend to like to work with? Or do you just kind of go freestyle? You just open up, pull back the plastic cover and just work until you feel like stopping. There's no right or wrong way to do it. If someone tells you there is, ignore them. It's whatever makes the process more relaxing and enjoyable for you. I have seen some interesting ways that people have used washi tape to section off their canvases before. And I've tried not to be like, like kind of be confused, I guess, where it's just like someone like took a roll of washi tape and sort of rolled it across the canvas. But you know what? if it makes them enjoy the canvas and diamond painting that much more, if you love it, I love it for you, you know? So I did have someone ask recently if the reason I always cleaned out and refilled my pens, my multi-placer in my WIP and Chats, if that was because I felt like I actually had to change my putty every time. And it's not. It's because I don't know, maybe it is a little bit wasteful. Maybe I should rethink this, but it's mostly so that I can just sort of demo how I load up my pens. It's especially useful though if it's from a company that I haven't tried before. So if it's a new to me company, I'm trying out their putty or wax for the first time. I really enjoy learning about using it and trying it out kind of with a live studio audience. No, just along with you guys. So it feels very hopefully it feels very true to what your experience would be. So if I run into any hurdles or any issues or anything like that, maybe it's helpful to see me troubleshoot them. I'm not sure. But when it's putty, like, you know, this one, that it's like, well, no, been using this for 4 years, so I don't need necessarily a fresh start on it. I guess it's a force of habit. I don't know, I guess. But yeah, I also just have a really large stash of putty at this point. So I guess I could say it's helping me work through that. As far as like how often, if I weren't doing it for WIP and Chats, how often would I have to change out my putty? It depends. I get several hours out of putty easily, and it depends a little bit on the climate. For example, there are some putties I have that I know will tolerate heat better than others. If there's putties that are on the softer side, typically I did that the wrong way. Oh, that was really silly. I should have cut it here so then I could flip it this way. I don't really want to have this in my lap. Hold on. That was a really silly mistake. What was I thinking? That's okay. You know, I'm just going to peel off the whole square and the cover minder is just going to be there to look pretty. I'm trying to think the last time I made a mistake like that. That's so funny. Oh, well, I guess weirdly out of practice. Oh, it's still a little bit attached there. It's fine. It's fine. This minder's just going to sit here for looks, okay? So what was I saying? How long does putty last? Oh yeah, so softer putty will last for a shorter amount of time. And sometimes, you know what, it depends a little bit on the drills. So there are some companies or some materials of drills, for some reason acrylic, which doesn't tend to be quite as faceted on the top in my experience. For whatever reason, I find that acrylic drills, because they're not as faceted, it's a little bit harder for the putty to grab, and so it's a little fussier to work with. And so if the putty gets dirty or soft or gummy, then I am more likely to have to change it out to be able to work with those acrylic diamonds more easily. I don't know though. I don't tend to calculate it or do anything like that. I just I can tell when I keep having to like fuss with my putty and try to lay it back flat or something like that. And when I go to pick up a line of drills, if it's constantly wanting to drop some, even after I try to fix it, then I know it's time. It's time to change it out. So, and sometimes it's just a matter of I didn't place it, get it totally evenly. Anyway, so it was a really random tangent about putty, but yeah, that's long story short. That's why you see me changing out my putty in these WIP and Chats. So, anyway, this kit. As I started to say earlier, I just have been really enjoying quite a lot. Even parts of the parts of it that have the Christmas tree in it, which involves a lot of confetti with shades of green. And historically, when I've done Christmas kits that have Christmas trees in the past, I have really disliked that part of it. I have just found myself enjoying this kit so much, and even the areas that would otherwise feel very tedious and very boring, but my favorite parts of working on this so far have definitely been the quilt that's in her lap. I wish I could easily pull the canvas to show you guys. It's absolutely stunning, and the detail is so pretty. I loved working on that part. I loved a lot of the details towards the bottom of the canvas, and up here towards the top there's not quite as much going on. Like this kind of winterscape that you see through the window is a beautiful change of color with all the blues and everything. But otherwise, as I'm getting up here towards the top, it's going to be a lot of wall going up into the ceiling, and there's a garland up here at the top. So I am hoping that I don't feel just really over it by the time I get up to that very last row, but I'm optimistic. I'm enjoying this one quite a lot. And I don't know if you saw, I'm going to try to avoid spoilers just in case, because I think there are probably a number of people that, if you ordered the Diamond Art Club mystery box, that you might not have received it yet if you didn't pay for expedited shipping. But I had gotten mine. I posted the unboxing over the weekend, and I was delighted that I got the one kit of the possible new kits that I did like the most. I had definitely resigned myself to having a repeat experience of the Halloween mystery box where I just got a lot of kits that I wasn't going to work on, and just know that that's the reality of mystery boxes. But it was a really nice surprise that I got the one that I really did like the most. And as I was unboxing that kit in that video, I was just sort of chuckling to myself because there's a lot about the composition and the various elements of that artwork that were quite similar to this artwork. But I didn't mind. I was like, well, I guess you could really say that I have a type and a taste. The color palette in that one is probably a little bit more my taste, but I'm loving every single second of this kit. I just can't get over it. So, I'll be sad when it's done. I am thinking ahead to what I might work on next. I am realizing that, yes, it's great to take my time with this kit and everything, but also it's November and I haven't done my dragon kit yet, and we're halfway through the month. So I gotta go make a decision, preferably sooner rather than later. I have a couple of kits in mind, but haven't landed on one for sure. I did get a video idea for one kit that I'm considering doing. So I'm going to kind of try to map that out and see if I feel like that would make sense. And I mean, I'll let you know if I definitely decide to do that one. I'd imagine I'll do it either this month or next. It's another smaller size kit that, yeah, I think it'll be really cute. But as far as what I might work on after that, I don't know that I'm necessarily going to do another holiday kit right away. I might work on something that's not necessarily seasonal, but then again, we're going to get into December, and I don't know, you guys, does anyone feel like we're kind of already in a dead sprint to the end of the year? It feels like I can't believe we're over halfway through November. Where has the time gone? I just don't understand it. It shouldn't surprise me anymore because this happens every single year. I even comment about it leading up to Drills and Chills, where I say, I know how this goes. Every single year it goes Drills and Chills in September and October. November is like tying up loose ends with Drills and Chills, and then it's Black Friday week, which that is coming, and then it's December. It's the holiday season. It's getting ready for potentially traveling and doing lots of family stuff. And so it's just, and then it's the new year, and then all of a sudden it's January and we're able to catch our breath. But yeah, so in spite of me realizing that, it's still taking me by surprise this year in real time. But yeah, we'll see. We're going to be traveling back to Ohio, and we're going to be gone basically from a couple of days before Christmas until New Year's Eve. So I am going to want to make sure I plan ahead for like my dragon kit in December and any other kits I want to work on in December. Like I'll for sure travel with some diamond paintings to Ohio, and I'm sure we'll get some diamond painting time in, but it's not going to be like diamond painting at home in as much time as I get here. So we'll see. I'm sure my mom and I will still try to sneak in some diamond painting time here and there, though. I'm hoping we might get some snow. That would be a nice little treat because, I live in Southern California and we just have zero snow here unless we travel to it. Oops, let me just throw my pen. So I'm crossing my fingers, but I'm excited to travel back, even if I'll be missing diamond painting. I'll have to figure out what I want to do as far as filming goes. If I can plan ahead enough, I'm hoping I can film enough content that it goes relatively uninterrupted, but we'll see. I'll probably take maybe I'll take my recording arm with me, and I can at least, film a WIP and Chat or something, especially after everyone goes to bed, because I'll be on West Coast time. I'll be awake after my family has gone to bed, and I could see doing that. But, I'm also not going to take away from any family time just for the sake of diamond painting. I'm too excited to get to go back to my parents' house and visit, and my brother is going to be there too with his fiance. So I'm really looking forward to that. But other diamond painting things. So yes, my Halloween mystery or Christmas mystery box came in and I opened that up. Diamond Art Club also dropping that Margaret Morales mystery last week. I was like, oh, well, shoot. That was one of those artists that I thought if they ever did a mystery from this artist, it would just be an automatic buy from me for sure. So I did pick that one up. It did ship, but it's not here yet. I've had some cute new releases lately too, but I think that I'm not the only one that is kind of just holding my breath for Black Friday. So I don't have any details to share. I'll just say that if there is something happening like there have been in past years, then you could expect to see another countdown live stream from Jacqueline and Lindsay and me. But stay tuned because there's no information to announce at this point. So we'll see what happens, and I'm excited to find out alongside all of you. But yeah, I'm just like, Black Friday is coming. It's not just Diamond Art Club. It's all the small shops and other big shops. I'd like to do some actual Christmas shopping. It's going to be interesting though. It's a little bit, I got voluntold, but I also fully expected this, so I wasn't upset or surprised. But I'm hosting Thanksgiving this year. I've never cooked a turkey before. It's going to be interesting. I was just talking with my mother-in-law today, planning out some of the logistics, and she's been really sweet and helpful. We just have the best space to host, especially now that our kitchen's put back together and whatnot. So, but it's so funny. I was mentioning to them today, I was like, TBD, but if I have this thing that ends up happening on Black Friday for like the countdown, which will be on like Thanksgiving, I was like, do you think if that's going to happen, could we do like a Thanksgiving like lunch mid-afternoon thing instead, which probably sounds a little bit terrible, but that's usually when we've done it anyway, because then it feels like we can just eat and then relax. And often like there's a movie involved. Moana 2 is coming out over Thanksgiving weekend this year, and my kids and my sister-in-law's kids are all really obsessed with the first one, so I'd imagine there might be a movie outing. So it's gonna be a full and busy day though, potentially. So there's that. And then there have been a lot of other like fun new releases from shops, especially like small shops too. Diamond Delights did a really cute release that I'll be doing a video for hopefully like tomorrow, after this video, like the day after this video comes out. And then like Enabler's Outpost, oh my gosh, their mini set of winter images. I love that one so much. And it sold out. I'm so happy for them, but I feel bad because a lot of people weren't able to snag it. But their winter mystery set, it sold out in like less than an hour. And so I'm so happy for them. I think they probably just, they didn't expect it to be that popular, but I'm delighted for them that it was. And it really is a really nicely done experience and whole like packaging and product. So major props to them. And then Pixels has done some really cute releases. I know they're not diamond painting, but they're very, very close cousins to diamond painting. And I'm sure there's others, I'm sure there's others too. I've also unfortunately heard about some like small shops that have kind of closed up shop, some with more communication than others. And I just hope that everyone that had like outstanding orders does get their hands on, if they have anything that they're waiting on, fingers crossed. I hate how hard it is, not just even for small shops, but just for a whole heck of a lot of people in the world right now. So I'm hoping that maybe the holiday season will be a nice like upswing for everyone. I'm hoping and praying that it is. So sorry, I just got distracted for a second. I was going to get my little notes really quickly. But yeah, my mail, I feel like the holiday mail craziness has already started a little bit. I feel like my tracking is consistently being kind of inconsistent and things are kind of like arriving at weird times. Like I had something that got delivered today, which is a Sunday. It's a Sunday night that I'm filming this. And I was like, this was like a weekday delivery. I don't know why this got delivered today. Not that I'm complaining. I just am like, oh, we're starting the holiday like weirdness with shipping and stuff getting delayed and all that because they get, really overwhelmed and whatnot. But I'm just gonna cross my fingers that everything arrives when it's supposed to and safely. But I have to make some decisions about anything I might want to do leading up to kind of like the end of the year related to my channel. I'm sure I'll do a year in review for 2024. I feel like I have, neon, hold on. I actually have all my diamond paintings I've completed so far this year in one of two places, and so it won't be too hard to grab them. A lot of them will be mini sets. I'm going to do like a little tally and see how many of the diamond paintings that I completed this year were actually minis in some form. But I also want to think ahead. I'm trying to decide, I feel like I need to decide ASAP what I want to do for my temperature project next year so I can get the materials ordered for that, because I know that's going to have a turnaround time. And also, like, I always get to this point of the year and go, shoot, there's other, like, really fun year-end type videos, like wrap-up videos that I would love to try to do, but I feel like it's all just, it's so very busy that I just feel like I never have the time and the energy to make it all happen, because it's like, yeah, Black Friday and then the holidays and all that. But maybe I'll be able to pull some stuff together this year. I'm really gonna try. But if not, there'll still be some, there were my year in review video, which I always love doing those. It's fun to pull out all my kits and then try to get them all out and take a picture of, all of them on like my kitchen floor, my garage floor or something, depending on how much space they take up. I'll have my completed cross-stitch conversion project. That's another video I very badly need to do. I finished that giant cross-stitch conversion project in September 2 months ago, and I just had to put it up to be like, I will come back to this another day. It needs to be in its like own little timeout isolation room for a little bit. But I don't worry. I haven't forgotten about that one. If you're thinking, when are we going to get to see this completed project already, lady? So stay tuned for that as well. I got a lot on my plans, here for the end of the year. And we'll make it all happen. So anyway, that's kind of diamond painting and channel stuff as far as like other updates and things that have been going on since the last time. Well, last week my mom was here. Like I said, thank you so much for making her feel so welcome again. That was really fun to get to do together. And then it was right before that. It was my birthday week, and I got to have some really nice birthday celebrations. I felt very, very loved. Thank you for all of the very kind and sweet birthday wishes. Adam and I actually got to go out. Adam's my husband. We got to go out. It was the day after my birthday because there was karaoke at the Scum and Villainy Cantina. I guess it is a Star Wars reference up in LA. I had never been, but I had always really wanted to go because it's just this fun little hub of nerd culture meets like a little bit of nightlife. So they do karaoke. I think it's every Thursday night. And when you walk in, it's just nerd references absolutely everywhere. There's lots of stuff like on the walls. Like, I mean, there was like Han Solo and Carbonite like on one of the walls, and there was like the men's bathroom door was painted to look like the TARDIS. Like there was just all sorts of stuff, like references to everything under the sun, nerd culture wise. And then what was really fun was even the bartenders and the staff were dressed up in various nerd garb. I had to do a double take when I initially saw one of the bartenders. I was like, are those the antlers? And then I took a closer look and I was like, he is 100% dressed as Tumnus from the Chronicles of Narnia. Like with the red scarf, with the little ears, and even he was wearing like these pants that had like a furry looking texture to them. And I was like, that's fantastic. There was another guy that was dressed up like Barf from Spaceballs and went up and like he sang Tears of an Angel, which was actually a really, really good rendition of it. And then the actual the karaoke itself, I didn't sing. Like I can sing, but I don't. I choose not to. I don't think I have a particularly good singing voice, but I have, like, technically speaking, like I have some from having a music education degree. Like it's just a part of it is some vocal training and whatnot. But I was just cheering on. My husband did a couple of songs, but the range of songs that people were doing was actually very, very, very fun. Literally at one point someone got up and did the Pokemon theme song. I'm not kidding. I'm not joking. People did sing along. Someone came up and sang a song from Wicked, and not one of the big ones. It was, they went up and sang No Good Deed. And I was like, this is, if someone's going to sing a Wicked song, this is not the one I'm expecting. And Girlfriend killed it. Like, it sounded so good. Side note, I'm really excited. We have tickets to see Wicked. It's going to be at the Hollywood Pantages Theater next month. We had gotten these tickets well before Adam had lost his job, and we're going to go ahead and keep them and go. And I'm excited to see it. I have seen Wicked on like travel, not actually on Broadway in New York, but like traveling Broadway performances twice, 2 or 3 times. And I'm excited to see it again. I was talking to Adam. I think we're both thinking we kind of want to wait to see the movie until after we've like seen the live show again. It's like we want that, like we don't want to have the movie in the back of our minds necessarily. We just want to be able to enjoy the stage production. I love it. I know that some people at this point feel like Wicked is maybe cliche and overdone, but it's just, there's a reason it's as popular as it is. Like, it's just so good. I remember my introduction to it was a very, very dear friend of mine, longtime friend of mine, who, she might even be watching this video, so you know who you are. But I remember we were, I was in high school. I don't think it was middle school. I think it was high school. We were driving somewhere together, and she was telling me about how she had just done this trip to Chicago and saw this amazing new musical that had debuted there. And she had the soundtrack and was playing it. I was like, actually, yeah, this is really cool. She got to see it like in its sort of I think if I'm remembering correctly, like it's basically its debut like in Chicago with the original cast, like Idina Menzel, Kristen Chenoweth, and now I'm just like, can you imagine getting to see Wicked before it was Wicked, you know? So Anyway, so all this to say, going back to karaoke, someone sang like a random song from that. There was like a group that does like screamo, like music that they're apparently there regularly. They're some of the nicest people ever. The vibe was so good. Everyone was so sweet and super supportive. And it was a great time. Some of Adam's friends came out, and they had a lot of really fun themed drinks as well. I decided, because alcohol is historically a migraine trigger for me in most forms, I was like, I'll get one drink, and because it's my birthday and I just am going to know what I'm signing up for. And so I ended up getting, all the drinks were themed. Adam got one that was called Second Breakfast, that obviously Lord of the Rings, had like espresso. It was like an espresso martini, basically. Mine was called the Stay Puffed, and it's not because I like Ghostbusters. It's because it was like marshmallow liqueur. And when they brought it out, this drink had like a toothpick with 2 marshmallows stuck through it, kind of going across the top of the glass, but they had set the marshmallows on fire as when they handed it to me, and I was like, oh wow, okay, that's on fire. But it was delicious. I got to eat some charred marshmallows after I finished my drink. So it was a good time. It was a really fun time. I'm an introvert to my core, but even still, I didn't feel too fatigued afterwards. I genuinely just had a very, very nice time, and I'd love to go back again because it was really, really nice all around. Adam sang Accidentally in Love by Counting Crows, right? That was originally in like Shrek 2. And yeah, that was fun because people were singing along too. It was good. So that was a really fun birthday outing. And then we got deep dish pizza. I just had a moment. I didn't talk about karaoke in my WIP and Chat last week, right? I mean, my mom was there, but I don't think I really talked about birthday stuff really. But yeah, we had delicious cupcakes from a place we always get cupcakes, and it was a nice week. It was a good birthday week. So again, thank you for the birthday wishes that week, that day. And yeah, so once upon a time, like my first few years on YouTube, I actually did birthday live streams. It was one of the very few times a year I would like go live, and it was just a fun chance to like go live and hang out and chat and stuff. But it's so much harder for me to do live streams now with like my kiddos and stuff and the timing. And I just thought it's okay. It felt a little bit like a vanity project too at that point. So I thought it's all right. But if we go live for Black Friday stuff, you'll get to see my face then. But Yeah, I just, yeah. Um, Other things that have been going on. This is, I don't know. I was gonna say not like accountability, but like something I'm gonna like brag on myself just a little bit about. But now that we have everything squared away with insurance and our primary care physicians and whatnot, I did have the chance to talk with my doctor this past week. I'm not gonna go into too much detail, of course, but I had like a laundry list of things that we talked about. Everything from, my rosacea is flaring up again. Should I do a referral to a dermatologist? Or is there anything she can do? And she's like, well, dermatologist wait list right now here like 5 to 6 months. So she's like, I can put one in. And in the meantime, I can, prescribe another cream for you to try. So hopefully that'll help. My rosacea tends to flare up the worst in the winter, even though California winters are so mild. It's so strange. Like, it doesn't get that dry here. Like, we don't even tend to need to run heat in our homes. I don't know why. Maybe running like hotter water in my shower. I'm not sure. But it just doesn't get that cold here. It's like a 20 to 30 degree difference from summer, as opposed to like the 50 to 60 degree difference it would be in like the Midwest or whatever. But I don't know. I'm just hoping it'll help. I also talked to her about my migraines, and she's going to see if our new insurance will approve an emergency med, like a rescue med that worked really well for me when I was able to get a sample pack of it, but I couldn't get my last insurance to approve it because they wanted me to jump through a ton of hoops to basically justify this med, because it's, I guess, newer. There's not a generic, so it's more expensive, so insurance doesn't want to cover it. It's a whole thing. And I told her, I was like, I have been better. I was like, I've been trying to track my headaches and migraines a lot more religiously in the, this planner that I have, and note any possible triggers I can think of, note what I take. And she's like, yeah, once you have at least like a month of solid, like of data, at least a month, like we can go over it and see if, it's time to talk about maybe a daily kind of preventative, so, because every time I feel like, I'll even come on these WIP and Chats and say, you guys, I've identified a migraine trigger and I eliminated it. And now my migraines it seems like they're so much better. Yay. And then it's that way for, sometimes a couple weeks, maybe even a couple months. And then inevitably they just come back. So just trying to be more proactive here. And we talked about a few other things too that I won't go into, but just I'm trying to see what things I can do to take better care of myself. Probably part of it is with having my birthday and going, okay, well, I turned 36. I'm in the second half of my 30s. That means 40 isn't that far away. And I have a lot of things I would like to do to just be taking better care of myself. So I decided to take some of those steps. I did unfortunately find out, I contacted my old therapist, and they do not take our new insurance. So that's kind of my next project, is I would like to track down, a therapist that I can be talking to with our current insurance, because I say it with like a almost lightness, like not joking necessarily, but like, oh, really, everyone should be in therapy. But I sometimes do feel like everyone could benefit from something in therapy. Like, we all have stuff we could use to work through, and someone that could kind of help us have an outside perspective, give us some tools to handle the hard stuff, especially with like going into the holidays and stuff that's always stressful. So I'm gonna see if I can do that this week, because I feel like the things that I need to talk through they're piling up. The list is getting longer, including something I do want to touch on that I'm going to give a trigger warning for. So this trigger warning is for pet illness and loss. And right this second, I don't know how long I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to shoot for maybe 5 minutes. But what I am going to do is, if you want to skip past this, which I 100% understand, that's why I'm giving this trigger warning, I'm going to try to add like a chapter note in the description of this video where you can skip ahead to where I'm done talking about it if you want to skip it. If you just want to bounce from this WIP and Chat completely, I also understand, but I am going to try to keep this really self-contained to this small amount of time, and to let you know in the description box exactly what time frame I'm talking about this, so that if you want to avoid it, it's easy to. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that I've mentioned here about how one of our cats was dealing with some health issues and getting sick, and given the trigger warning, I think that speaks for itself how this has gone. So our cat Dolce, who was 14 years old, had just turned 14 actually, she had some ups and downs with her health over the past few weeks, and just really took a downhill turn kind of fast here last week. And so I took her in to say goodbye on Thursday, and it was really, really hard. I cried a lot. I'm a little bit surprised I'm not like bursting into tears right this moment. I think, yeah. We think that it was the C word because of some of the symptoms that I don't feel comfortable going into detail with, because I don't want to be too upsetting. But we hadn't gotten to the point of doing, x-rays and scans and everything just yet. We were trying some other tests and treatment options first. And it was really hard. I know that it's the most like loving and kind decision that you can make as a pet owner, but it was very heartbreaking. I just went by myself. Adam stayed with the kids, and the team there was extremely compassionate, very, very kind. I was just straight bawling from the second I, walked out the door of my home with her. And Connor has had an incredibly difficult time. He has done better yesterday and today, but he's devastated. He's 9, and he is autistic, and even if he weren't, this would be incredibly difficult. And so we've just tried to navigate this as best we can with him, make sure he knows it's okay to be sad, it's okay to have these feelings, and trying to navigate these conversations while also grieving ourselves it's been really, really hard. And it was very, in the end, it was very, very peaceful. And I'm so thankful for the team there that just took care of us. And I actually, one of them called to follow up with me earlier today, which I really appreciated, and she was actually also calling to let me know the results of like another round of tests that we had run a couple of days before. Like, she really got a lot sicker, and just let me know kind of what the results of those tests. It kind of didn't confirm 100%, but it backed up sort of what we thought was probably going on. And so it's the worst part of having pets, right? Is knowing that this is where it goes. But yeah, it really sucked. And I did just sort of feel in the moment, I was like, I have got to get to therapy to like work through some of this, because it was, honestly, it felt like very traumatizing, even the moment, because I haven't had to go through that before. And yeah, so, but I know how this goes. We've lost pets before, and I know it'll get a little bit easier every, day, week, month, as time goes on. I know grief isn't linear, but I just, I'm seeing it already with Connor, and feeling it some with myself, that it's like, it's gonna get easier. It's always gonna hurt, but we're always gonna be sad, but hopefully it's not gonna feel like suffocatingly, and devastatingly sad for forever. But anyway, thank you to everyone that had sent positive thoughts, prayers, vibes when I had brought it up before. I had a bad feeling, since probably around a month ago, when she was sick in a way that just was very concerning. And I just thought Adam and I both kind of had a bad feeling at that point. We feel like we really did, and the vet agreed, we really did everything we could. And that at least gives some reassurance, but I'd much rather that she were here. But we had her for 14 years, like the happy stuff. We got her shortly after we moved to California. We had just gotten married. We moved across the country. I had to leave my cat behind, my older cat behind, with my parents, because my parents live on a few acres of woods, and my cat was an indoor-outdoor cat, and she would have been miserable if we would have taken her with us to California, and she had to live in an apartment, and had to be strictly indoors. So one of the reasons we adopted Dolce was because I had to leave my cat behind. And Dolce was incredibly sweet. She was very, very, very shy. But so sweet and had, especially kind of in the past couple of years, gotten very affectionate with Adam. She would cuddle with him, specifically in the evenings, and she was really good with Connor. She actually liked and tolerated Connor really well, and Connor was really good with her. I think that's part of the reason it's so sad. But 14 years, like that's good. That's a good life, and I feel like we loved her an awful lot. And yeah, it's always sad to say goodbye, but thankfully Skip, our other cat, has been a wonderful comfort. He has it's very sweet. He's kind of gone between people to kind of whoever is hurting the most, and as he sticks close by, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he comes trotting down the stairs here in a moment to come check on me. But I'm really thankful that we have Skip. And Connor is asking, I think this is a really normal part of grieving too, but he's asking, he's like, can we get another cat? Can we get another pet? Can we get him soon? Like, get it for Christmas or something? And, financially speaking, it's not, that wouldn't be a smart decision for us right now. And I'm not sure we really want to think on it. We don't want to rush. I don't know if we want to get another cat. I know that we do want to get a dog at some point, and the timing could really be right for that once Adam has a job again, or something really changes for us financially. So we're telling him, we're going to take some time just to remember. And, we have busy holidays and stuff coming up, and he sometimes doesn't love the answer, but we'll be okay. Like I said, I think it's kind of just a natural part of grieving, but okay, let's move on. Thank you for letting me share about that. It's, I don't like to bring sad stuff here, but at the same time, when it's a really big part of something that's on my mind and going on in my life, it would feel very disingenuous for me not to just kind of let you in on at least part of it. So thank you for letting me share about that. And I just cuddle your very beloved pets close, okay? All right, let's move on and talk about some other things though. So things that have been going on this past week with the kiddos. So we did go down to Oceanside today to visit with Adam's parents, partly to kind of get out of the house for a nice distraction, and because we do like to drive down and hang out there. The kids like going and playing at their house and stuff, and it's not too far from us. It's just over an hour with no traffic. So we were down there today, and the kids, this was really funny. When we left, I was like, this is just the epitome of the difference between our kids, because our kids really are polar opposites in a lot of ways. They have some similarities, of course, but it's, they're both, they both have, special needs. They both have a lot of similarities in sort of their sensitivities and stuff, and their personalities, of course, too. But then in other ways, they just are so completely opposite. So for example, at one point, Micah really wanted to go to the park and play, and Connor's still kind of recovering from being under the weather and kind of being a little mopey too, because Connor was sick and missed a couple of days of school last week. But so Adam's dad decided to take Micah to the park, and Micah basically was just never stopped moving. Made a little buddy there that we played with for like an hour straight, and Connor basically just kind of chilled and hung out and played like at my in-laws' house. And then when we got in the car to go home, Micah, who had been running around and super active, doesn't stop moving ever, was wide awake and chattering and being real silly and everything the whole drive home. But then Connor, who hadn't gone to the park and played for an hour, who was just kind of chilling and hanging out, he falls asleep like the second we hit the highway and slept for like an hour on the car ride home. And I just like, this is it. This is really the difference between our two kids right here. So, no, they're doing good. Like I said, Connor unfortunately got sick and had to miss a little bit of school last week. And he had to miss a little bit of a day of school the week before because he took kind of a nasty fall when we were walking to school. He didn't realize that there was a bike that someone had laid down kind of on the sidewalk, and he like just tripped over it without seeing it there, wiped out, and he chipped one of his top front teeth. So thankfully everything's okay. We saw the dentist and everything, and said good news, like it hasn't gone to the nerve or the pulp, it's just cosmetic. We're gonna go back in this week, and they're going to put on like a little filling, because it is one of his adult teeth. But again, it's mostly just for aesthetics and comfort. they're going to put just like a little filling on there. They won't have to do any drilling or anything for it, but hopefully that'll smooth out like that little jagged edge there. And his poor mouth needed time to really heal up because he just really bit into his bottom lip and everything too. He was really, really upset. So we went to the dentist and then he stayed home the rest of that day. And then he was sick with like a little bit of a cold bug this past week that none of the rest of us got. So I'm not totally sure where that came from, but no, he's had a good week. When he went back to school on Friday, I had told his teacher kind of what was going on, and no details, don't worry. I told his teacher what was going on, and we both agreed that we thought school would be like a nice distraction for him, but also like if he was just having too hard of a time, that, I was like, call me and I'll come get him. And I told him the same thing to kind of reassure him a little bit because he was worried about going, and just feeling sad. And I was like, if it's just too hard, like I promise I will come and get you. Just talk to your teacher. So his teacher's so good. I love her. She's so good with him. I've said it a million times, but I really, really, really love the kids' teachers this year. They're both wonderful fits for our kids. And I'm eternally grateful because we don't get to pick the kids' teachers. It's, assigned by the school. Sometimes we know who it'll be, like if it's a special ed class, like a separate one. But, with like Connor, who's in gen ed now, we don't necessarily, and we don't get any say. So, but it's just, overall it has been a good school year. They're about to have all of Thanksgiving week off. They have like not only all of Thanksgiving week, but also like the Friday before too. So I think that's this upcoming Friday. So they're about to be home a lot. So we're going to find some fun stuff to do, some nice activities. Let's go play at the park. Let's do lots of, like getting outside and playing and stuff. So we'll make some fun plans. So what else is going on? I've zipped through some of that faster than I expected. Okay, so it's okay if we end a little bit early. That's really okay. As far as what I've been reading and watching and listening to. So reading, nothing super exciting on this front even still, but this is adjacent to reading, so I'll mention it. I had been mentioning to Adam for a little while because we've had some really interesting discussions surrounding fan fiction as a medium and like fandom in general. And I was like, there's this YouTuber who I love her video essays and think that she's incredibly eloquent and well-spoken, and is just so good at like being very empathetic and sort of really understanding sort of both sides of, different perspectives when it comes to something like this. And she has this video that's called like an exhaustive defense of fan fiction, but it's like defense, not like as in being defensive, but like in the academic sense almost. And so Adam was like, I want to watch this video that you had sent me a while back. And he was just kind of sitting at the kitchen table across from me working on some photo editing stuff, and I was diamond painting, and we were listening, and he'd pause every couple minutes and we'd get to like talk about it. And it was really interesting, just to sort of have that kind of, I don't know, more intellectual kind of discussion. We love getting to do things like that. It's just, I don't know, we in a way it's not like debating and getting, heated or anything. So it was fun to get to do that. It's if you haven't seen any of Sarah Zed's, it's Sarah Z if you're like American English, but like she's Canadian, so it's Sarah Zed is how she refers to it, herself. But she has some great videos on her channel, especially if you are into, fandom spaces and whatnot. Really, really enjoy her content a lot. So that's like kind of reading adjacent. And Adam did walk away from it with a little bit more appreciation for the medium. So that was good. And I walked away with some new food for thought too. So fun all around. Watching, well, I haven't had any really new shows on lately, but Adam, again, who is now often sitting kind of across the kitchen table from me, in the evenings after our kids go to bed, we're like parallel working, we're co-working, he's getting stuff done, I'm getting stuff done. Sometimes he'll put on a show and he'll be like, oh, do you mind if I don't watch it with headphones, or are you interested in sort of having it for background noise for you too? And initially I wasn't planning to necessarily pay attention to it, but he started watching Only Murders in the Building, which has been on our watch list for a long time, but we're so behind on stuff. He was like, I'm just going to watch it if that's okay. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. Not as opposed to us, like, not working on stuff and instead going into the living room and putting it on the TV. He just kind of put it on and I was mostly, listening. So, but as he's watching it and I'm hearing it, I'm like, shoot, I think I might want to go ahead and restart this from the beginning and watch it myself because I missed a lot because sometimes he'd watch when I wasn't necessarily around because we weren't like technically setting out to watch it together. But I was like, oh man, this show really is funny. I really should go back and try to watch it myself. But I feel like I'm a little late to that game too because there's a few seasons of it out now and it was super popular when it first released, like the first season released as well. So I know I'm behind. You also let me know if you guys have seen that one. There's not any other like big shows that are on our radar. There's a lot of different Star Trek shows we keep meaning to try to go back and catch up on. A lot of like new Trek mostly. We still need to finish that season of Picard that we started months ago, but we both just tend to get wrapped up in the evenings on our own kind of projects. And that's a show that we don't want to just have on without paying like active attention. I wouldn't want to be diamond painting while we were watching Picard, for example, but I don't know if there's anything else I've really got going that I've been watching. As far as listening to, as we're driving an hour and a half to and from Oceanside today, I always drive because I get car sick really easily, like really, really easily. And Adam is not always like the very, very smoothest driver. And even for like smooth drivers, I just tend to do better if I'm the one driving. I don't get car sick that way. So I'm always like when our family goes anywhere, it's me, I'm driving and we take my car. And it's very like driver picks the music. And so it's always like I just am putting Taylor Swift on shuffle. And Adam is getting to a point where he's heard enough of it that he's like recognized and he'll like sing along a little bit to some of the songs. I'm like, aw, Swiftie husband. So I'm sad that like her tour is coming to an end here soon. I know some people are like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired of hearing about Taylor Swift and her boyfriend. Like, it's fine. It's okay. I understand. But also, like, I have enjoyed it. Sometimes I'm very just let people love what they love. And it'll just, I'm like, what are all the Swifties going to do? What are we going to do when the tour is over? I joked with Adam. I was like, so how would you feel about if I just sort of took a little last minute trip up to like Toronto for the last few shows? No way. There's no way. And he was like, excuse you. I was lucky enough to go when she was in LA last year. So, I'm always going to be super, super grateful for that. And the just bucket list, moment that was. So, and then listening to, I've also had on, I still, like, this is still remaining, like, just very relaxing, weirdly relaxing background noise for me is these Phasmophobia streams by Insim. And there was, like, a Halloween event that they had going on the past couple weeks, and that just wrapped up. And so I was watching the stream where he was like, the stream's not ending until we get to 100% on the Halloween event. And it was fun. I actually got to watch some of that live because it was happening while my kids were in school. So yep, that's kind of that. And then as far as what I have coming this week, I have still a bit of a backlog as far as unboxings go. I feel like, honestly, the time-sensitive stuff has kind of determined a lot of my schedule. I know this past week in particular was extremely unboxing heavy, and I try to not let it be quite so heavy on one type of video. But like I said, I just have kind of a backlog of some kits that it's time sensitive stuff. And so I'm hoping this week I'll have maybe a little bit more variety. It depends a little bit on the mail. I'm way overdue to do a small shop haul. I think I mentioned that in a couple of WIP and Chats now, but like a small shop haul that's not related to Drills and Chills sponsors. I have some packages from small shop purchases from like April and May. It's so far delayed at this point. So I'm going to see if I can make that happen this week. And I would love to finally get to my Pixels video, which is that sticker by number company. I am really, really thoroughly loving and enjoying that craft so much as a diamond painting adjacent craft. It's like when I want to pull out something that's a little bit smaller, it's given me nice breaks from this really big project. I just am loving it so much. So I have most of like the clips of that video filmed. I just need to kind of finish putting them together and editing them together. and having time to post it. So, but yeah, this week is definitely going to have some more unboxings, but I'm going to try to make it happen where there's a little bit more variety. But I appreciate you guys. You are so sweet. Every time I talk about like apologizing for content or something, or myself having to be a certain way, it never fails. You guys are so sweet. You're the first ones in my comments to go, Katie, you don't feel like you have to apologize. It bothers me when you feel like you have to apologize. Like, don't worry about it. Just do you. And I really appreciate that. The apologies come from being just like a lifelong people pleaser that, and also just I like the idea of being an empathetic person. I don't want to ever lose that about myself. I want to just sort of care about how other people feel. However, I also recognize that there is a line there where that can get to a place where it's too unhealthy or it's dysfunctional. But I would always rather be thought of as too empathetic than not enough. But there's also a difference between being empathetic and being too much of a people pleaser. So anyway, I just want to say I appreciate you guys. You're always in my corner and so incredibly sweet. So thank you for that. I really appreciate you. I feel very, very fortunate to have all of you in my corner and in kind of like my like family of subscribers. It means a lot. I feel like there's a lot of kind of interesting people in like the YouTube space, and I just feel like I found a really lovely community, and want to say thank you for that. So yay, thank you to you. But yeah, let's see if you made it all the way to the end of this video. Let's go with a book emoji in honor of our emotionally attached to fictional characters. How appropriate was that given that I talked about fan fiction earlier too? Yeah, emotionally attached to fictional characters. So look at how beautiful this is coming together. Like, this artwork and this kit are so stinking gorgeous. I love it. I absolutely love it. So I'm gonna be sad when it's over. Maybe that's the other reason I'm really just kind of taking my time and letting this take a while. But anyway, you guys, let me know in the comments, how are you doing? How have you been? How have you been keeping? What were you working on while we chatted today? I hope that you are well. I am not going to be commenting on certain things going on with the state of the world because it's a mental health thing for me, which I just can't go there. But I just want to say there's a lot of ugly and a lot of horrible things going on out there, and I will try to continue to make this as welcoming and inclusive and kind of space, like kindness-based space, as I possibly can. That is always and forever going to be a value on my channel. So just practice self-care in any ways that you possibly can, because that's super important, especially as we are going into the holiday season and with everything going on. So, all right, my friends, I'm going to let you go. Please leave a thumbs up if you did enjoy this video, and thumbs down is fine too if that's how you feel. Whatever works for you. I just appreciate that you took some time to watch this video with me today. If you're not already subscribed, please consider subscribing. I do these weekly WIP and Chats every Monday morning unless something comes up schedule-wise. I also do a lot of unboxings and reviews from a variety of companies here on my channel, along with tutorials and small shop hauls and other kinds of fun unboxings where I can work them in as well, or other kinds of videos when I can work them in as well. So I hope you have a day and a week that's as amazing as you are, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.